Now you got sound. God damn it. I just did that whole thing with no sound. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Got to be kidding me. Nebraska. God damn it. Thank you for telling me, Nebraska, there was no sound. I can't believe I just rambled on and talked about how great it was to hit Rich Hill under 15.5 ounces, the only play of the day. I talked about how great it was to go treat myself to a shave this afternoon, professionally done shave. You got to look good if you want to feel good. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for telling me no sound. That's annoying. That means my kids came in here at some point and was messing around with my damn equipment. And they do that stuff, man. I didn't even notice that the lights were off. Didn't even notice the lights were off. Nebraska, my bad, man. My bad. We're back. We've got sound. I assume we've got sound, right, Nebraska? We back? Okay, we back. God, that's annoying. That's annoying. That's really annoying. That's the way she goes sometimes. That's the way she goes. All right. Frustrating start, but that is what it is. Thank you again for letting me know. Let's, the cash register, that hurt. That came through, I assume, right? Yeah, the cash register came through, so just my voice wasn't. Lovely. Lovely, 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 lovely. All right. Appreciate that again, my man. Let's go ahead and throw up the weekend bets. Before I throw up the weekend slate of bets, how you guys like the new kit? You guys already saw, I already wore the Man United away kit. I picked that one up. You got Newcastle returning to Champions League football for the first time in a very long time, multiple decades, if I recall correctly. This is the kit they're going to be wearing under the lights on Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. I'm down under. I kind of like Newcastle. I've have their traditional home kit, and I've had that home kit for about half a dozen decade or so. They get back to Champions League. Look at this one. This one's clean. I like it. All right. Rich Hill was a bit of a sweat, but we cashed. Yeah, it was a little bit of a sweat, but fortunately my mic wasn't working when I talked about how great of a cash that was, though. It didn't do anything. Then they get to him in the fourth and fifth inning. That was good cash. That was good cash. Let's throw up those Premier League bets today. Guys, I broke them out into, we've got top two bets. They go in today with Nottingham taking on Sheffield. Then the bottom or the middle section there is going to go ahead and be the bets that are going to be on Saturday's action in the Premier League. And then the last one there is the Between the Post parlay of the week. Between the Post parlay of the week. My leg is Liverpool, team total over 1.5. They're taking on Bournemouth. They're absolutely going to smash Bournemouth. I'm not as excited about Matt's leg. If I'm really being excited, Arsenal money line doesn't get me excited. But been knowing Matt for 5 or so years, trust him, like him a lot, obviously. So I'll roll with it. I've always said I was going to put the Between the Post parlay of the week on my card, but I do expect Arsenal to get the win. But wasn't excited that was the leg that he brought to the parlay, if I'm being honest. But they should get past Crystal Palace. But the other ones I absolutely loved. I think we're going to get two great plus money cashes this afternoon, and I'm a little bullish. I'm expecting first half cashes, to be quite honest. I'm expecting two plus money first half cashes this afternoon. Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest, team total for Forest over 1.5 goals, and give me both teams to score. We, of course, talked about every single game this week on Between the Posts with Matt and I. There's only 9 games this week in the Premier League. We previewed all 9 of them, talked about why we like the 2 overs tomorrow between Wolves and Brighton and Tottenham and Man United, and also talked about why I like Newcastle United. I like them possibly full game, but definitely like them jumping on Manchester City early in this game. So that's why I'm going to do the first half double chance. And if you're new to betting soccer, double chance means you're either going to win or tie. So you're either going to win or tie. Obviously, a loss is a loss, as it is with betting most stuff. But if there's a tie at the end of the first half, we will go ahead and be rewarded with the cash at minus 140. So that's how we'll do it this week in the Premier League. Do we add anything to it? We'll certainly add free rolls, but I can't imagine adding any official plays where we want to put a unit on it. But arbitrage money, maybe try and flip that in some free rolls. Yeah, for sure. Let me know which ones you're going to go ahead and tail. Let me know if you're going to go ahead and tail any of those. And did you parlay today's bets? Did you parlay today's bet? Did you bet on Harry Kane to get a debut goal? Not quite a debut goal. He was trying it out a little bit there in that German Super Cup. This is basically his debut. His debut, at least in the Bundesliga. It's going to be his full debut. He's certainly going to get the start. All right, who's betting on Harry Kane to possibly be a goal scorer today, or who's going to parlay the 2 bets we have this in the Premier League? I've parlayed them straight up. I've parlayed them, and I got a fair amount of money on it. So, yeah, look forward to getting a couple great cashes this afternoon in the Premier League. That's it, fellas, in terms of soccer. It's way too early to be betting in the Bundesliga for my liking. So it's their opening weekend. We know that league's great for an over 2.5, but we got to see. Let's let the data come in for 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then we'll start betting Bundesliga, dabble into Serie A like we like to do. But Premier League, that's the one that we watch every weekend. That's the one we really, really know. So that one I don't mind jumping in without a lot of data. But not the other leagues. We need data on those. What's up, boys? God damn, Thursday or Friday, baby. Hopefully you're feeling good out there. Hopefully you are feeling good. Get those bets in. Hell, I may do a parlay of all that shit together, to be quite honest. I may parlay all that together. If you were to replace the Arsenal leg, yeah, I kind of do want to replace the Arsenal leg, but like I said, I know Matt. I trust Matt. Yeah. If I was to replace the Arsenal leg, what is over 1.5 goals in Fulham and Brentford? I think there's at least a couple goals in that. And remember, we're talking parlay, so while I kind of like over 2.5 goals in Fulham versus Brentford, you're talking parlay, you kind of dial it back a touch. Let's see what that is. Let's see what Arsenal money line, because the Arsenal money line is minus 175. That's why I think an over 1.5 in Fulham Brentford will be enough to get you, good enough odds to feel comfortable and bet it. Yeah, it's plus 106. God damn, I like that way. Or no, I did the wrong. Oh no, we're taking off Arsenal money line. Hold on, I did that wrong. Taking off Arsenal money line. I need Liverpool team total. Let's see. Liverpool team total. That's minus 161. So that doesn't quite get you comfortable betting. That doesn't quite get you there. I would swap out Arsenal money line. You could do Newcastle plus 1.5. Newcastle and plus 1.5. I don't know. I'm going to roll with Arsenal money line. I don't want to sit here and bag on Matt's pick. Like I said, I know the guy for 5 or so years now. I trust everything about him. I'm just not overly excited with the Arsenal money line, but they should win the game. I don't know, because I don't, obviously I like overs, in a couple of these matchups, so you could dial them back, but obviously I put a full unit of my money on it. I'm confident in those. It's a good question, Nebraska. With the odds, I guess it depends on your comfortability level. If you're comfortable at minus 161, I like Brentford and Fulham to have over 1.5 goals. And then the other matches I've got to bet in, so that's why I'm not really looking at Wolves Bright. I'm not looking at Tottenham Man United. I'm not really looking at City Newcastle. And then the Sunday matches really don't excite me. Villa and Everton, West Ham, Chelsea. Those are the 2 matches on Sunday. That doesn't really get me excited. Adrian's got Forest on the money line. I think they win the game. I would bet on Forest to win the game. And then you like over 2.5 goals plus 240. Yeah. Obviously I'm betting on goals, so I'm right there with you, Adrian. Forest on the money line should win, but I just would rather bet on goals, but I hear you. Forest to win and both teams to score plus 370. That is the bet that Matt gave out yesterday on Between the Posts. Matt gave out Forest money line with both teams to score plus 370. Hard not to like that. At 370, maybe you dial it back for half a unit. You start getting that plus 300, and that's when I want to alter the unit sizes of the bet. I like it. So, good questions. Yeah. Good questions. Guys, who knows what we were last week in the Premier League? How about 5-0 last week in the Premier League? 5-0. Who's ready to go undefeated again this weekend in the Premier League? Oh, hell yeah, boys. 5-0 last week in the Premier League and looking to run it back. 2 bangers this afternoon. Who else is giving out 2+ money bets this afternoon in soccer? Who else is going to parlay those suckers together? You're going to be a great afternoon. You're going to roll up into happy hour. I got the tab, fellas. I got it. I got the tab, fellas. I just hit 2+ money bets this afternoon in the Premier League. Bar tabs on me tonight, fellas. Let's get it, boys. And buy a drink for me while I'm out there, while you're out. I'll be at home with 2 kids. Buy a drink for me. I am going to the Great Wolf Lodge this weekend, taking the family to Great Wolf Lodge. You guys know what that is? Probably it's that indoor like water park essentially at the Great Wolf Lodge. Yeah, taking the family out there on Saturday. So did a little overnight stay. We'll have a good little time. Opinions on Brighton to win the match. And Wolves looked really good against Man United, man. I mean, they could have thumped them. I like Brighton. Obviously, I'm on over 2.5 goals. I certainly think both teams score, but at minus 120, I didn't want to add both teams to score, but I do think both teams to score will certainly hit. Brighton probably wins, but I'm just going to bet on goals. Look, I thought Wolves was going to be bad coming into the season. Was Man United bad? Was Wolves really good? You don't want to overreact to one game, but god damn, they should have beat United 4-0, 5-0. They should have thumped Man United at Old Trafford. So I'm not willing to go for Brighton on the win just because it's early in the season. I mean, I love Brighton. I watch all of Brighton's matches. They're just fun to watch. Love their style of football, that high pressing tempo that they run. Matomo, going one-on-one on players. Like he's a joy to watch. Ferguson coming off the bench. I'm surprised he wasn't sold this summer. Maybe teams went for him. I didn't hear much news. I would have gone for Ferguson. That's a very good young talent from a striker. I'm very surprised that. If I'm betting on a team to win, I'm going to bet on Brighton, but I don't want to actually bet on it there, Daryl. TikTok Live today, yeah. That's the goal, is to watch these two bets on TikTok. I've got an appointment at 12:30 to get cleaned up. I'm doing a professional shave this afternoon, but it should be over by then. That's the goal, Adrian. How is the food at the Grey Wolf? I've never been. This will be the first time going out to the Great Wolf Lodge, so I guess we'll find out. We'll find out here in a second. Or we'll find out tomorrow what the food's like. If I had to take a guess, the food's probably shitty because it's basically it's an attraction for kids, and kids eat cheese pizza, chicken fingers, and fries, and peanut butter and jelly. So I'm sure the food will suck. I mean, if we're being honest, the food's probably gonna be terrible. That's all right. Just drink enough beers to overcome the shitty tasting food. And there you go. That's how you do it. Boys, I'm fired up, boys. I'm fired up. I'm loving where we're at right now. Just from an overall betting perspective, love where we're at from baseball. We've had a great 2.5 week run now. Look to close it out this weekend and end what'll be a 3-week great run that we're on. And then obviously love where we're at in the Premier League with coming off a 5-0 opening weekend, and look to continue that going into tonight with some more bangers of a bets this afternoon. So I'm fired up, fellas. All right. I've got one game previewed for Around the Bases. I thought it'd be cool to have the second game of Around the Bases open to you guys. So drop in a comment, whatever game you guys want to talk about in Around the Bases. If there's a game that obviously gets more picks than the others, that's certainly the one we'll pick. So I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of cool. If you guys hang around for Payoff Pitch, you know what I'm talking about. You know in the second inning it's called Around the Bases. I take 2 games, I break them down. I've got one game I want to break down and leaving the second game open to you guys. So put it in the comment section. We'll come back in a couple minutes. We'll do Payoff Pitch live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's go, boys. Happy Friday morning to you, fellas. Welcome on into today's episode of the Payoff Pitch, live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, previewing the MLB slate. And, of course, it's Friday, so we got a loaded MLB slate, 16 games. So we got a little bit of a doubleheader on today's slate as well. So looking forward to talking about it with you guys. A couple things here in quick hits. First of all, I've only got one game lined up for Around the Bases. And of course, Around the Bases was where I want to talk about two games, but I thought for the first time we would open it up to you guys. Again, I've got one game. Drop it in the comment section. What's a game you want to hear previewed on Around the Bases? What's a game you want to hear previewed on Around the Bases? Drop that game in the comment section. And then the other thing we're talking about here on Quick Hits is be careful today in the MLB. This could be a day where some dogs are barking, and more than one dog could be barking. So if you're sitting there and you think there's some, money line favorites that look tempting, I would give you guys some caution. The stats are a lot closer on these series that are about to unfold this weekend. So be very, very careful. There's some dogs. I bet you could get clean. I bet you could clean up today if you want to take a stab on some dogs. So be careful right there. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into Around the Bases. Again, I'm going to take a couple games and break them down. One of them I'm going to provide with you guys. And I want to go right to the very first game. And it's going to go happen right outside that window here in Chicago. We've got Kansas City Royals in town taking on the Chicago Cubs. What did we say in that Royals-Mariners series? We said take the over, take the over, take the over, take the over. The over hit in all four games. Why did the over hit? It's the over hit primarily because this Royals team continues to be outstanding versus right-handers. And I want to emphasize versus right-handers because we know the handedness matters very much in baseball. They're just really stinking good, quite frankly put, versus right-handers. How about number one in baseball versus right-handers in terms of batting average? They're hitting .349. How about number one in slugging versus right-handers? They're slugging .580. And how about the number one weighted runs created at 157? This is the best offense right now versus right-handers, and you see it unfold day in, day out. They may not be winning games, but they're running up the score. They're keeping games obviously high scoring, and we love that. We talked about this game yesterday, potentially liking an over. Then you start digging into the numbers there, the Cubs versus left-handers, and when we've been back in the Cubs lately, it's always been against right-handers, right-handers, right-handers. They're struggling versus left-handers. So, look, this game is definitely going to be focused in on the Royals, backing the Royals. If you want to take them on the full game money line, that's up to you because you know this bullpen is dog shit. You saw it again yesterday against the Mariners. They were able to claw back, giving the bullpen allowed 2 home runs, and the Mariners get away with the victory. It's also why you like an over, right? I mean, how many times we talked about that Royals bullpen and how goddamn bad that they are. So I can't get there on a full game money line, but I certainly expect them to have the advantages through the first 5. And you can get the F5 money line at plus 133. You can get the F5 run line, which you're getting half a run. So now if there's a tie, you're going to get a win. And you can get that at minus 110 over on Bet Rivers. You add the Royals' strength versus right-handers combined with the Cubs struggling right now versus left-handers. There's a path for the Royals to very much be winning this game early, and then maybe they win it throughout the entire game. Another reason why the Royals are going to be successful here in the first 5 innings is Jameson Taillon here. He's on the mound there for the Cubs. He's allowed his last 3 opponents to go over the F5 team total of over 1.5 runs. So doesn't look bad in terms of like his entire outing, but he's having stretches where opponents are able to get to him through the first 5 innings. And you're catching him at home, which if you go look up his home and away splits and go look at his day-night splits, you're getting his 2 worst splits when he's at home and when he's pitching during the day. Those are his 2 worst splits, and you're getting them both combined in this game. Overall, it's a 5.71 ERA to 1.39 whip and an opponent's batting average of 274. You add that with a very low K per 9 of 7.9, which folds in nicely to what the Royals do. They do not strike out at 17.9%. Taillon's going to be working his ass off in this game. I like Royals F5 team total. I like Royals F5 money line. I like Jameson Taillon under 17.5 outs. And I like Jameson Taillon under 4.5 Ks. You find one of those bets, I guarantee you're going to cash whichever one of those you decide to place. I'm going to do the Royals F5 team total over 1.5 runs. Give me the Royals F5 team total over 1.5 runs. The Taillon also struggles versus left-handers, and the Royals will throw anywhere from about 4 to 5 left-handers at him today. Smoking hot versus right-handers. This is, what did I put in best bet of the day? This is right up there with best bet of the day. Best bet of the day is backing the Royals, and particularly really backing the Royals early when you can predict what the pitching matchup is and you can know that the advantage is on your side. So give me the Royals today. I'm going to do the Royals F5 team total over 1.5 runs at minus 125 as I tweeted out earlier. Let's see what you guys want to talk about here in game 2. We've got... all right, we'll take this one. We only got one suggestion. We'll take Rangers-Brewers. So you've got Andrew Heaney on the mound there for the Rangers, taking on, was that Brandon Woodruff, if I recall correctly? Now let's get on into this matchup. You've got the Brewers continuing to not really be all that great versus left-handers, but they're also not like terrible where you want to fade them because they hit 235. They do slug 500, so maybe a weak batting average, but they're bringing an awfully lot of power to the plate, which kind of plays into their weighted runs created being at 110. A good angle within this game, though, is the Brewers continue to be one of the elite teams in a recent stretch of avoiding the strikeout. You saw it again last night with Lance Lynn. He only gets 3 Ks, which is well under his, I think it was 6.5. He only gets 3 Ks. You could do the same thing with Andrew Heaney. They've got his number at 5.5 at plus money. You could definitely take that under. The Brewers may not be, hitting the ball great, but they're avoiding the strikeout at 17.8%. That's what we're seeing, whether it's a right-handed battedness or a left-handed, right-handed or a left-handed pitchingness. It doesn't matter. They're avoiding the strikeout. So Andrew Heaney, you're getting good plus money at under 5.5 strikeouts. I certainly like that one right there. Then if we look at this Texas Rangers team, what they're doing versus right-handers, a better batting average at 267, less power of 445, and basically the same weighted runs created at 113. I'm going to back the better bullpen, though, from a full game perspective. We love this Rangers bullpen with the Aroldis Chapman and Will Smith in there. We love how that basically, condenses a game down to 7 innings because you're not touching those guys, generally speaking, in the 8th and 9th inning. So we've got the Rangers being charged. I think I saw like minus 120. Yeah, minus 120. I don't think the Brewers can fully take advantage of Heaney's struggles. I do really love that pitching prop. I'm going to take the Rangers today at minus 120. Really hard to ignore the bullpen advantages that they have. The Brewers struggling a little bit versus lefties. Aroldis Chapman and Will Smith are both left-handers. The other thing I liked about this in terms of fading the Brewers today is eventually you're going to see a right-hander come out of that bullpen. How about the Brewers versus right-handers are well below the Mendoza line at 193. No power to the plate versus right-handers hitting 281. So struggling versus left-handers, you're going to see a right-hander at some point. We're struggling. Give me the Brewers or the Rangers at minus 120 there, James. I'll take the Rangers at minus 120. I really like that Andrew Heaney prop as well. All right, let's shut up now. And in fact, let's shut up and pitch. Let's see if we can't give you guys some pitching props. I want to target, Brian Bello there of the Red Sox. Over 17.5 outs. Basically at even money, call it minus 105 over at DraftKings. He's gone over in 10 of his last 12 starts. He's gone over in 2 starts this season versus the Yankees, and he didn't just barely go over. He went 7 innings in each of those outings, and he didn't even make it a little bit more impressive. Those are back-to-back outings against the Yankees, right? Figure that second time he's not going to go 7 innings. He just went 7 innings against the Yankees. No way he repeats that. Yeah. He went 7 innings again 5 days later against the Yankees. The Yankees have the worst batting average right now versus right-handers. They're hitting 183. They're striking out an awfully lot at 30.6%. They don't have any power versus right-handers, only slugging 256 with the weighted runs created of 60. Get behind Bello. The guy's been going deep in the games. The guy's been going deep against the Yankees. They're struggling. I like Bello, basically at even money, to have over 17.5 outs. I also like Kyle Gibson of the Baltimore Orioles to stay under 5.5 Ks at minus 105. You can't give me minus 105 given that it's had a hit rate of 19 of 25 starts. Just bet that in all 25 starts and you'd have a winning proposition. Books probably don't give you minus 105 every start. This is against the Athletics, but I don't understand why. The Athletics maybe aren't killing the ball, but they're striking out at 19.2%. So they're making contact. They've got a lot of young hitters now in their lineup after the trade deadline. They're making contact. They're not swinging and missing. Under 5.5 Ks for Kyle Gibson, minus 105. Like that one right there. And then just to mention again and just to reiterate, You want to fade Tyon today? Under 17.5 outs? Love it. You want to do under 4.5 Ks, which is cash in 11 of 21 games this season? Like it. I would probably do the outs more than the Ks just because, we've seen guys get their shit beat out of them, but yet somehow they'll still strike out 5 or 6 guys. I mean, we have seen that. I can't imagine him pitching deep into this game. So if I'm only going to do one, sure. Give me the under 17.5 outs. But the K numbers are also right there. He's not going to last long in this game. I don't think he lasts long at all. All right, 4th inning. Call it long shots. Let's try and find some dogs every day that can come through for you guys. So let's do exactly that. I mentioned in quick hits, I thought this could be a day in which the dogs could kind of come through and maybe give you multiple underdog cashes. Mentioned the Royals, so just going to mention them again today. If I expect you to be winning through 5 innings, hope you can hold on to it. But again, that bullpen, I mean, it gives you no confidence. It gives you no confidence, which is scary. I mean, these numbers, ugh. They have a 350 BABIP. 3rd worst in the major leagues. It's awful. It's awful. 1.7 whip is 4th worst in the major leagues. It's all really awful from that bullpen perspective. So, but I do like the Royals. I like the Reds too. How about the Reds today as an underdog today? Liking the Reds today, fellas. They're taking on the Blue Jays. I'm getting the better hitting team in Cincinnati. Bullpen-wise, okay, well, you got to hold your nose a little bit, but the Cincinnati bullpen's not all that far behind the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are top 5 where the Reds come in top 10. I'm really going to get the advantages from an offensive standpoint. Also, the Blue Jays haven't ever seen Brett Kennedy. He's a bullpen arm, so figure just a few innings from Brett Kennedy and he'll be out of there. So the Blue Jays probably won't get a long enough look to even be able to hit him, but they're scuffling. They're only hitting 233. Their weighted runs created is well below league average at 82. Meanwhile, the Reds hit 297. Their weighted runs created is 129. I like the Reds today. I think they're a good dog today, plus 130. Another dog I like today, same dog that hit yesterday, Diamondbacks. We've talked about this Padres team. It's kind of like the Yankees team. People just betting this stuff because of name recognition of the players on the back of the jerseys. Diamondbacks again. Bullpen's kind of turned it around here a little bit lately. You still don't have the bullpen advantages. You definitely got to tip your cap there to the Padres, but my Diamondbacks bullpen numbers are coming up out of bottom 5, starting to surface up almost up out of the bottom 10 is that bullpen number. So I like it, and I'm getting the offensive advantages there for the Diamondbacks. So I think they're a good dog today at plus 145. And the other dog I like, it'll be a little surprising for people to stomach this one, Athletics. You want to talk about tight. Athletics hit 222. The Orioles hit 219. Athletics have a little bit more power of 417 up against 360 of the Orioles. They got a better weighted runs created at 97 versus 70 for the Orioles. I understand it's the Orioles. I understand they're the best team in the American League. Medina's been pretty good. That's her projected starter. Not confirmed, but we get Medina up against Kyle Gibson. I already like Kyle Gibson to stay under his strikeout prop for today. Bullpen-wise, okay, you're going to lose the advantages there at the Athletics. That's to be expected, right? We're talking underdogs, so you're not going to have all the advantages every single day. But I think you get enough of the advantages to keep it tight. Shouldn't be plus 154. That's for damn sure. Give me that plus 1.5 at minus 112. I'm fine with that, too. All right, fellas, a couple dogs. Royals, Reds, Diamondbacks, Athletics. I bet 3 of those 4 hit if I take a guess. I think it's a good day for the dogs, fellas. 5th inning, call it keep swinging. Like to give you some hitting props every single day. And I've got 2 guys that are on recognizable teams. 2 guys that you'll very much recognize. So I say that because sometimes guys will DM me and they're like, who the hell did you give out? Like, who's that guy? All right. And what about Eddie Rosario? You know him from the Atlanta Braves. He's 5 for 12 up against Alex Cobb, 2 home runs. Like that. What about Paul Goldschmidt today up against Joey Lucchesi there of the Mets? He's 8 for 16 against him, 2 home runs and a double. And if he doesn't get it done, look for Arenado. He's got 8 hits up against Lucchesi, with 3 of those 8 hits being for home run. He's going to struggle in the middle of this lineup here between Goldschmidt and Arenado. One of those dudes, if not both of them, are going to hit home runs. I like them today. Fantastic numbers up against today's starter. I like Goldschmidt and Arenado of the Cardinals, and I like Rosario today there of the if I'm only going to pick one between Goldschmidt and Arenado, though, it's definitely going to be Arenado because Goldschmidt strikes out. And I like Arenado's plate discipline. I like his strikeout numbers are lower than Goldschmidt. So I would focus more on Arenado as opposed to Goldschmidt if I'm picking one of those guys. 6th inning, NRFI of the day. NRFI of the day. Tried to get it a NRFI yesterday, but Mother Nature wasn't on our side. I think we would have gotten a cash on that one. Unfortunately, we can't play it today. These teams are in action in a doubleheader today, and they've flip-flopped who's going to be starting which game. So we got to find another one today. I found one at plus money, so that gets me excited. Rays and Angels. Rays and Angels today for your NRFI of the day. The Angels are struggling to hit right-handers. They're hitting 191, which is 29th in the major leagues. Weighted runs created of 57. And the Rays are struggling versus left-handers, hitting 167, which ranks 27th in the major league with the weighted runs created of 44. Both of the teams have high strikeouts. One of them's at 29.9%, which is like, okay, I want to start fading you. I'll take an over on a strikeout prop. And the other one's at 26.3, which is, it's getting up there. And you get Ramirez versus Anderson. Ramirez is a bullpen arm. He's had one opener. He was clean, not a hit, not a walk, not a run, not a nothing. Small sample size, and he's a bullpen arm. So I like that, actually. And then Anderson, he's had 20 starts. He's getting roughed up a little bit. 8 earned runs, 3 home runs, a 1.6 whip, and a 293. But we're going to focus on the Rays struggling versus left-handers, only hitting 167. Hopefully Anderson can get it done. And then you add in plus money. That's my NRFI of the day. Rays, Angels. Rays, Angels, NRFI of the day. Now we get to best bet of the day. Let's see if you guys put a best bet in the comment section. See what we got. You got Ed. He likes Texas -1. I hear you. So you want to pay a little bit less juice, but you get a push if they only win by 1, and then you get a nice reward if they win, obviously, by 2 or more. I'm fine with the -120 with just taking them on the money line. Let's see if you can. And that was at DraftKings where I'm just kind of doing the show. I bet Rivers has a better price. They lag. I bet you could. Let's see what they got. Caesars has -120. Okay, so -120 is the best price. I hear you, Ed. It's fine. It's fine. I'd probably just do the money line, but yeah, I'd probably just do the money line. You're welcome, James. Probably just do the money line. All right, best bet of the day. Best bet of the day. That's what you need. I need your best bet, fellas. You need my best bet. Did my best bet hit yesterday? That's probably would have been the NRFI. Probably got rained out. Giants, Braves. I'm fading. We talked about this yesterday on the look ahead, right? We talked Spencer Strider. We like taking Spencer Strider through the first 3 innings. It's an angle we've played a few times this season, and we've been rewarded. I don't think the Giants are going to score for the first 3 innings, so I'm taking their team total under 0.5 at +114. The Giants are hitting 198 versus right-handers, slugging 260, and a weighted runs created of 52 versus right-handers. Those are obviously really stinking bad numbers, and all those are in the bottom 5 of the major leagues. Spencer Strider, I don't have his hit rate, but again, it's at least a play we're familiar with. All I can tell you is what the Giants are doing through the first 3, and then let's just add the 4th inning just because it's a website that gives us that data. Through the first 4 innings, the Giants average 1.68 runs, which is dead last in the major leagues. So obviously they struggle early. In the first inning, they average 0.45 runs, second inning 0.38, and the third inning 0.49. Just hit each of those numbers and we'll get a cash. You know what I mean? So Strider's tough, big-time strikeout stuff. And then really when you add it to the Giants' struggles versus right-handers, you saw it in that series against the Rays. It was a low-scoring series. I mean, the first game went over, but that was only because the Rays went over. Otherwise, it was every game stayed under. The Giants just can't hit right-handers. Strider's going to be tough. We don't have a lot of career batting averages or batting attempts up against Strider, so obviously we love that. And Strider also hasn't faced the Giants this season. So, yeah, they'll struggle first time through the order. I'm taking the Giants team total F3. Under 0.5 at +114 is my best bet today. What about a parlay? Let's cook up a parlay. I actually don't have a parlay cooked up. Let's hop on over to DraftKings and cook one up. I'm going to cook up that Royals. I'm putting that one in the parlay. Royals F5 plus a run at -125. I already know you can get a better price elsewhere. Yeah, looking at it right now on Bet Rivers at -109. But I'm just building this parlay. I really like the Royals early, so I'll take a half a run at -125. And then I'm going to parlay that with Wish I knew who the Yankees were starting. That would make taking the Red Sox money line a little bit easier if I knew who they were starting. I'm going Dodgers money line minus 142. So that's plus 206. We'll write that down. Royals plus a half run through the first 5 innings. Dodgers money line. Yeah, it's not a day to be jumping on the Marlins there, folks. We'll talk about that game. I know it's Andy Alcantara on the mound, but you're not winning 11 games in a row by accident. We've kind of talked about the Dodgers. They're obviously really stinking good. Let's throw off these bets, and then let's talk about everything from money line, run line, over/under perspective. We call it rapid fire. Those are the bets I'm going to roll with, at least for now. May I add some to it? Yeah, because I've got 2 bets in the Premier League. I'm going to go 2-0, hit 2+ money bets, and probably add my 3rd favorite bet to it as well. So let's hop on in there. Let's do rapid fire, and then let's talk about it. Let's do it, boys. Royals and Cubs, over-under of 8.5. Royals plus 150, Cubs minus 180. You're going to stay with the over as long as that Royals bullpen is going to be like they are, and as long as that offense is, hot versus right-handers. It's going to change tomorrow when you see Justin Steele, and maybe after rapid fire did get hit up, the guys kind of like the look ahead, so we could spend half a second, do that again. I already know tomorrow the Royals, you're not really going to want them against the left-hander and Justin Steele. They just are really thriving right now versus right-handed pitching. So I'm going to take the over today. Hope the Cubs can do a little bit off Cole Reagans to help hit that over. But if not, if I'm down in this game and I get that bullpen, I still feel comfortable I can hit the over even if the Cubs struggle. So I'll take the over 8.5. If I had to pick a winner, I'll take Royals. Tigers and Guardians in game 1 with an over-under of 7.5, plus 105 for the Tigers. Guardians coming in at minus 125. Gavin Williams up against Scooball. Well, why did we like this NRFI yesterday? Well, because the Guardians can't hit left-handers. I'll take the Tigers at plus money. They still have really good numbers right now versus right-handers. I'll take the Tigers today at plus 105. Blue Jays and Reds, over-under of 10.5, minus 155 for the Blue Jays. Reds plus 130. With both of these bullpens, sitting top 10 and the Blue Jays sitting top 5, I definitely like the under. Look, Berrios, while I like the Reds offense and they hit 297, which what I say was like 4th or 5th best in the majors. That's 5th best. Berrios isn't going to get lit up. He'll limit the damage. He's too good in his own right. But I do like the Reds on the money line, but I'll also take under 10.5. 2 really good bullpens, so give me under 10.5. Phillies and Nationals, over-under of 9, minus 175 for the Phillies. Nationals plus 145. Adon's got some really bad career numbers against the Phillies. While he hasn't seen them this season, they roughed him up last season. Lorenzen coming off the no-hitter against the Nationals. Obviously not going to be that good against today. I'll take over 9. I'll still like the Phillies. Yeah, Lorenzen's obviously not going to be as successful. But boy, Adon really struggles against his Philly teams. His career numbers are not good for him. So, yeah, I'll take Phillies. Phillies money line and over 9. Over 9. Red Sox and Yankees, over-under of 9.5, minus 115 for the Red Sox, minus 105 for the Yankees. We don't have a starter for the Yankees. Let me see what the projection is, if there's anybody willing to go out on a limb and tell me what the Yankees may be starting today. Let's see. Anybody willing to tell me who the hell they're starting? I saw it's not Garrett Cole. He's going tomorrow. Who the hell is it going to be? I can't even find. Nobody wants to even predict who the starter is. Well, that makes it. That's why I really didn't break down this game. But I could focus on, because the Red Sox told me it was Bello, and obviously the Yankees struggles versus right-handers. I handicapped half this game. I'll go Red Sox on the money line. God damn, the Yankees are awful. Red Sox on the money line, minus 115. Now we get game 2 between Tigers and Guardians with an over-under of 8, plus 120 for the Tigers. Guardians minus 142. This is where you get Curry, who we talked about yesterday, going against Matt Manning. I'll probably just take over 8 and probably won't try and figure it out a winner. Give me over 8. Giants and Braves, over-under of 9, plus 190 for the Giants. Braves, minus 230. You got to give Cobb some credit, but we talked about this Braves offense and how good they are versus right-handers. I'll take Braves on the run line. Braves on the run line for me at minus 108. Brewers and Rangers, even money for the Brewers, minus 120 for the Rangers, over-under of 8. I'll stay Rangers at minus 120. Pirates and Twins, over-under of 8.5, plus 190 for the Pirates. Twins, minus 230. Bullpen day for the Pirates as they're throwing Andre Jackson. Probably just going to go 2 innings. Meanwhile, you know what you're going to get from Pablo Lopez. Both of these teams, about average. Twins on paper, look like they have the better bullpen. I'll take Twins on the run line. Twins on the run line. And give me under 8.5 as well. Give me under 8.5. Mariners and Astros with an over-under of 8.5. Mariners plus 130. Astros plus 155. I'm interested in the over here. I'm interested in the over. Again, we just talked about Mariners Royals series and how good that was for an over. It only looks better with not better, the Royals are number 1. It looks just as good with going up against the Astros. So give me an over 8.5, and probably won't worry about a winner in that one. Just give me over 8.5. Mets and Cardinals with an over-under of 9.5. Mets plus 120. Cardinals at minus 142. This one was tough with Zach Thompson pitching for the Cardinals. That's a bullpen guy. Although there was a couple times they got a little bit of length out of him. I think one outing they got 5 innings, and the other outing they got 2 innings. So a little misleading on what maybe you're going to expect from Zach Thompson. I'll go Cardinals money line. Cardinals money line. Really like their left-handed hitting. Really like some of their big thumpers, career numbers off of Joey. I'll go Cardinals money line. White Sox and Rockies, over-under of 12. Minus 102 for the White Sox. Rockies minus 118. Interesting series right here because 2 teams that are scuffling offensively. And then you look at bullpens and you're like, well, White Sox traded all their good arms and Lopez and Middleton. Their bullpen's been struggling most of the season. And the Rockies' bullpen struggles. We know that. But can the offenses take advantage of poor pitching? More times than not, you can see that. Even if the offense is struggling, if you pair it up with poor pitching, even the bad teams can hit poor pitching. So I'll say over 12. For a winner, it's minus 102 against minus 118. There's a reason. It's pretty even. I'll just take over 12. Rays and Angels, over-under of 9.5, minus 110 against minus 110. You don't have the 3rd worst bullpen in the major leagues and get to be a coin flip game at minus 110. No. Not with that bullpen of the Angels. Look, we know offenses are struggling because that's why we like the NRFI of the day. But it's not minus 110 against minus 110 when you factor in full game. That Angels bullpen is shitty. 6.43 ERA, 2nd worst in major leagues. 5.0 whip, 5th worst in the major leagues. A 1.89 whip. That's 2nd worst. No. And then they have the 2nd worst batting average at 301. No, it's Rays at minus 110. It's not a coin flip to me. Orioles and Athletics, minus 185 for the Orioles. Athletics at plus 154 with an over-under of 8.5. Mentioned how close it is from a hitting standpoint. It's why I like the Athletics. Bullpens are relatively close. I like Medina versus Gibson. I'm going to take the over. I'm taking the over. Over 8.5. Athletics money line. Diamondbacks over/under of 8.5 against the Padres at minus 175. Diamondbacks come in at plus 145. I'll stick it with the Diamondbacks. And then Marlins, Dodgers, over/under of 8.5, plus 120 for the Marlins. Dodgers minus 142. I was surprised to see Gonsolin's out prop at 17.5. This is a guy that's generally gone 5 innings. Looks like his last 2 outings, he went 6 innings. He's improving a little bit. Marlins regressing versus right-handers. And again, you don't win 11 games in a row and not be towards the top in most categories. So yeah, Dodgers bullpen numbers are there. Their offensive numbers are there. Alcantara, his outs prop, fellas, I'm going to get a live look and see if this is still the current number. Because I didn't believe it when I saw it. 19.5. I don't get it. Even if he comes out for the 7th inning, can he complete the 7th inning? I would bet that he can't. I like that prop. It's minus 175. It's juicy as all get out, but I like that prop within that game if you're looking for a parlay piece. But yeah, give me the Dodgers to keep it rolling. All right, what do we got here? You like the A's over? Yeah, I like it too. I'm not going to bet it, but you guys know me. I generally bet every game. That'll be the side I bet in that game. I won't try and predict a winner, but I will take the over for sure. All right, fellas, let's throw up some Premier League bets. Maybe you guys missed the daily show. I'll toss up the Premier League bets this week and how I'm rolling in the Premier League. I'll toss these up for you guys, and we'll go ahead and end it. This is how I'm going to roll this week in the Premier League. All starts this afternoon with those first 2 bets. All right, fellas, that's it. Have yourself a great weekend. I know I will at the Great Wolf Lodge. I look forward to just hopefully have some good stories to share on Monday. So enjoy your weekend, fellas, whatever you're up to. Look forward to talking about it on Monday. Let me know what you guys were up to. Hope you have a great time. Let's cash. Hit that cash register all weekend, and you have yourself a good one, boys.